springtime and love is in the air. Yes, as in lovebirds are in the air. Springtime is a time of reproduction, of rebirth. Our plants are growing beautifully, they're producing, and so are our lovebirds. Did you know that lovebirds are monogamous? That means that after they are ready to mate, after 10 months, they are ready to go find a couple and start mating. And once they find a mate, they never, ever, ever leave that mate. They feed each other, they take care of each other, they clean each other, and they are lovers for life. Shouldn't we be taking some lessons out of that? Sure things. Here's a brand new baby here. So here I am collecting some data out of my lovebirds out in my aviary. And so we're going to be taking a look at data related to the mean, the median, the mode, the maximum, the minimum. And so I'm going to gather data by counting how many yellow ones, green ones, blue ones, how many different species we have. And of course, we're going to use all of that data using this as an example of data gathering. So here we have a nice baby. Here you can tell he's a baby because his beak is black. You can see it, and he's almost ready to fly out. This little couple decided to go big. Look, it has 9 eggs. Hopefully they'll hatch most of them. So just as a recommendation, if you're ever going to buy some lovebirds, please study them and look to see which ones are couples, because the last thing you want to do is break up a couple, because it is widely known that if you break up a couple, you're just going to be taking him home or her home, and they're going to go into a deep depression because you've separated the bond that was created between that couple. And like stated before, they will probably not be finding another couple anytime soon, okay, or mating at all. So when you buy lovebirds, make sure that you get them as a couple. That's why they will go home happy to you. And then pretty soon, you'll start having a lot of lovebirds, and there will definitely be much more love in this world because we will have more lovebirds. Adios. Loving you, baby. Good morning, everybody. So today we're going to start our lesson on central tendencies and data. So you should all have downloaded or looked at the notes that are provided for you on Google Classroom. They would look like this, except of course they are uploaded so that you won't have the card at this point. But please go ahead and download it because it'll give you all the definitions that you will be needing for this unit, which will take us about the next 3 weeks. Today I'm only going to focus on 5 of the terms that are on here, and we are going to begin with the word mean. The mean is also another word for the average. You probably remember it as the average, but today we're going to be talking about mean, medium, and mode, the 3 M words, and therefore we are going to call it the mean. You're going to notice that we use this X with a bar on top of it. That is a notation for average. And what it says in your notes here is that the average of the numbers that are calculated, which is called the central value of all the set of numbers. And to calculate the mean, as you probably already know, all we have to do is just add up all the numbers and then divide by the amount of numbers that there are. Okay? The second word is the median. To find the median, the easiest way to do it is to find the middle number. Median, middle number. So the easiest way to do it is for you to line up all the numbers from smallest to largest and then look for the smallest, look for the one that's exactly in the middle, and that is called the median. Now sometimes when you calculate the median, because you started with an even set of data points, you're going to end up with 2 values, at which point you find those 2 middle ones, and then you find the average, the mean of those 2, and that is called the median. Okay. And then we have here the mode. So what is the mode? The mode is the value that repeats itself most often, the one that is most frequently there. Now, please understand that there may be more than one mode. Sometimes there's 2 modes, in which we call it bimodal, or even more modes. Sometimes there will only be one. It's called the mode. And then the last one is called the range. And the way you find the range is by looking at the largest number and the smallest number and then subtracting them. So that's giving you the range of values from the smallest to the largest. So the joke of the day is I have these 2 slug-looking things here, and one of them says, "You are below average." And then the little slug says, "You're so mean." That's because average and mean are the same thing, all right? So now, you'll remember that I was in my aviary earlier, and so here are the values that I calculated after I counted all the grown-up birds and the baby birds. So in my lovebirds, I ended up with 10 blue lovebirds. Green lovebirds there was 12. Yellow lovebirds there was 8. Black, which are really uncommon, was only 2. And the combination of sometimes green with yellow and blue with green and so forth and so on, that's because they intermate between species there. We had 8 combinations that I couldn't tell which of the 2 colors they were primary, okay? So given this data, I am now going to show you how to find the mean, the median, the mode, and the range. So we can practice, and that way you'll know why I introduced you to my birds there, okay? So first of all, we're going to notice that the maximum value was 12. Maximum, of course, is the highest value. And the minimum is 2. So the lowest value is 2. So if I wanted to calculate the range, all I have to do is get the maximum and the minimum and do what? That's right, subtract them. Good job there. So to find the range, all I'm going to do is get the maximum, subtract the minimum, which is 12 minus 2, and the range is 10. Okay, now let's go calculate the mean, the median, and the mode. The mean, of course, is the average. So what are we going to do? Well, first of all, we're going to add up and see what my total amount of birds there were. So 10 and 12 is 22, 30, 32, 40. So if you add all of those, you're going to end up with 40. Notice my notation here. X with a bar means mean. So 40 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because there are 5 numbers, the value is 8. There's your mean. The median. Well, I'm going to put these all from smallest to largest, and then I'm going to begin to start crossing them out and see if I have a mean. Cross the highest, cross the lowest, cross the highest, cross the lowest, and the one that's right smack in the middle is called the median. And then the mode, this case the median is 8. And then finally, that was the median. The mode is the one that repeats itself most frequently. And oh, look here. It looks like I made a mistake, didn't I? Because this should have been a 10. Got it. So now there's only one mode. The most frequent one that appears is 8. Had that been a 12, I would have had 2 modes, and this would have been called bimodal. But there's only one mode here because all the other values only repeat once, but 8 repeats most frequently twice. Okay, there you are, mean, median, and mode. Now we're going to move on into the examples from your packet. Okay? So in this part of the presentation, I'm going to show you how to do your first assignment on your data packet, Unit 9. It is called Central Tendencies A. So I'm going to go through letter A, and then we will be expecting you to go and do Central Tendencies letter B. So if you follow along, after you download it, of course, you'll be able to know how to do letter A, transfer your answers and your work over to letter A, and then eventually you can go and finish letter B on your own. And then when I give you a assignment log later on, you'll be able to check these 2 off, and then in 2 weeks, tell me all the things that you've been doing. Also, you should be getting yourself ready for Friday's quiz on this kind of material, okay? So now let's go ahead and get ready. I'm going to keep my notes handy here in case I forget what mean, median, mode, and range is. So off to the side, I have them really close by. So question number 1 says, what is the mean of the following group of numbers? So if it's kind of small, go ahead and use your own packet there to read them, but it says the key word. So what I'm going to do as I follow along, I'm always going to begin by highlighting the key word. In this case, the key word is mean. So what am I going to do according to my notes? I'm going to add all of these numbers. And so if I get my handy dandy calculator and I add all of those numbers, I'm going to say mean is equal to 88. Now I'm going to count the number of data points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I'm going to end up with 11, which is, of course, letter D. And that's how you find the mean. Now let's go see if there are any other problems that are slightly different. Let's see. Number 2, the keyword is the mean. Oh my goodness, just add them and then divide by, in this case, 10. You're going to end up with x to the bar, which is the mean. 51, there are 10 terms, and you end up with 5.1, which is, of course, letter C. So now let's keep going here. Students has 4 scores. Keyword, I'm looking for a keyword. Ooh, obtain the mean of 90. Alrighty, so I'm looking for the 5th score. So I'm going to say 88 plus 91 plus 93 plus 86 plus a 5th term that I do not know what it is equal to a mean of 90. Okay, then, what am I going to do with the top ones there? Well, of course, I'm going to add them. And so let me continue here. If I add all of those values, I'm going to have a grand total of 358 plus x over 5 is equal to 90. Now I'm going to put a little 1 here so I can cross multiply. So you end up with 358 plus x is equal to 5 times 90, which is 450. And all I gotta do is subtract 358, and I will end up with a value of 92. And that's the 5th score. How can I check it? Just plug it in, add them all, divide by 5, and you will end up with 90. Again, keyword mean. All right. Now it says, which of the following set has a mean of 11? So now you have to do this 5 times here. So add them, divide by 4, and look through all of those and see which ones give you a mean or an average of 11. Okay, that's number 4. Moving on to number 5 over here, it says Rob and Marie were comparing test scores in their math class. Rob had 3 test scores, 82, 85, and 73. And Maria had 75, 79, and 86. How do the students' means compare? Okay, once again, you got to find Rob's mean, you got to find Maria's mean, and see what they look like. If they are equal, you'll say letter A, and you'll just follow up what all the other ones are to see which one is higher, okay? And then, of course, circle the answer. Number 6 here, it says that the data points are 5, 8, x, and 9, and they give you a mean of 9. Well, once again, you're going to start by saying 5 plus 8 plus x and plus 9 divided all by how many terms? 4, and it equals to my mean of 9. I'm going to put it over 1 again. If I do the math here and I calculate all these values, you're going to end up with x plus 22. And when you cross multiply, this here is 36. So when you take away 22, you're going to end up with x is equal to, yep, the answer is 14. And so you will circle letter B. Alrighty, let's move on here to number 7. Oh, this one here is for Noah or Gabriel because it's talking about basketball. We had a really good season in basketball this year. Our teams made it to the playoffs. In basketball game, the number of points scored by 6 members of the team were 22, 20, 10, 11, 11, and 8. How many players scored more than the mean? Okay, well, let's go find out what the mean is. If I add all those points, you're going to end up with 82, and we had 6 players. So if I calculate the mean, 82 divided by 6 is 13.67 when you use your calculator. So now let's go check it out. I forgot to remind you to keep always, highlight the keyword, sorry. So I'm looking for numbers that are higher than 13.67. So that guy is 22, yep, and that guy is 20, yep. It looks like only 2 of our players had higher than 13.67, so therefore the answer, of course, is going to be 2 of our players. Who could that have been? Okay, number 8. The mean of 4 numbers is 5. Oh my goodness gracious, but they didn't tell me what the 4 numbers were. That's okay, I don't need to know because I know algebra and all I have to do is create my own variables, right? So let me create my own variables. The mean of 4 numbers is 5. The sum of the first 4. Okay. So the mean of four numbers, I'm going to call it A plus B plus C plus D. There are my four numbers. Of course, they are disguised as variables, right? And the mean is 5, but there are four numbers there, right? So now I'm going to cross multiply yet again if I put a little 1 here. So I have A plus B plus C plus D is equal to 20 because 5 times 4 is 20. But then they tell you that find the sum of the first four terms. That's it? They just wanted the sum. Well, there's your four terms and there's your sum. So the answer is simply 20. Oh, that was easy, huh? Good, good, good. All right, that takes care of the first half. So let's take a quick little break and we'll be right back. Well, all right here. Let's continue on with the second page, beginning with number 9. Now I'm going to begin by highlighting the keyword again. It is median. Okay, so I look at my central tendencies data. It says the median. Oh my goodness, that's the one that falls right smack in the middle. So I remember my lovebirds and I'm going to put them all in order. Hey, how nice. They already did it for me. They are already in order. 4, 5, 6, 6, 10, 10, and 20. So all I got to do is cross the high one, the low one, the high one, the low one, the high one, the low one, and the one that's right smack in the middle is 6. And there's my median. Number 10, it says the set of scores mathematical test is 64, blah, 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 blah. Keyword. Oh, my goodness. It is median again. So let me put them all in order. Oh, how nice. They already put them all in order for me. Okay, then let me go ahead and cross the high, the low, the high, the low, and see which one is right smack in the middle. High 196, low 64. High 78, low 71. High 78, low 72. Oh my goodness gracious. I have two values. What am I going to do? Well, I told you before, sometimes you have two numbers because you started with an even set of data. So therefore, all you have to do is find the mean of those two. So 74 plus 75 divided by 2, and you will end up with 74.5 as your median. Okay, keyword for number 11 is median. Now you know how to do that. Keyword for number 12 is median. Now you know how to do that. Keyword, oh, I got a new keyword. Yes, it is. It's mode. All right, so the mode is the one that repeats itself most frequently. So let's take a look-see here and see which one of all these numbers is the one that most frequently repeats itself. Hey, well, there's only one, and it is 5 and 5 because, oh, wait, there's another one in there. I have a 6 and 6. But there's another 5 in the middle. Oops, there we go. So the 5 repeats itself 3 times, and the 6 repeats itself twice. So obviously 3 is higher than 2, so therefore my mode is 5, the one that repeats itself most frequently. Finally, the last page here, the last side, as you can see, this assignment is not that difficult. Let me go highlight the keyword again, mode. And so start looking to see which one repeats itself most frequently. And of course, you're going to see 78, 78, and 78 3 times. And therefore, my mode is 78. Number 15, keyword. Let me go look for it. Oh, mode again? That's really easy. Just look for the one that repeats itself most frequently. And of course, there's only one, 28 and 28. And therefore, the answer is 28. My goodness gracious. Number 16. Now we got to do a little bit of work here because it reads, the mean. Oh, back to mean. Okay, that means I got to go back to the mean and find the average. The mean of 5 numbers is 30. Now, you'll remember a little while ago we had 4 numbers and we used A, B, C, D. This time there's 5 numbers. So A plus B plus C plus D plus E. There's my 5 numbers. And the mean is 30. So there we go. I'm going to divide by 5. That's the setup right there. 5 numbers divided by 5 and my mean is 30. Wonderful. So now they're going to tell me that 2 of the numbers are the three numbers are 24, 21, and 31. So three of the numbers are 24, 21, and 31. Let me say that those three numbers are A, B, and C, right? So those A, B, and C are 24, 21, and 31, and I'm going to add them. Well, if I add them, I'm going to end up with 76. And then they say that the other two numbers are the same. So I'm going to call this X, and I'm going to call that X, just so I can have the same variable. And that is plus 2x divided still by 5 is equal to 30. I'm going to put it over 1. Okie dokie. So all I got to do is just cross multiply. You will end up with 76 plus 2x is equal to 30 times 5, which is, of course, 150. When you take away 76, you will end up with 2x is equal to 74. And when you divide by 2, you will end up with x is equal to 37 for those two other numbers that were the same. Let's see, is there a 37? It's always good when the answer is there. Otherwise, I would have go find what my boo-boo was. And finally, the last one here for you. Let's go see what the key word is. Keyword. Oh my goodness, take the median. That means they want the one right smack in the middle. Now, for those of you that do not know what a stem and leaf diagram is, it's just another way of writing data. What you got to remember is that the number on the left is the tens column, and these are your ones. In other words, this means 24, a 2 and a 4. This means 24, so that my maximum value is my minimum value is 24. If I ask you what's your maximum value, this is 59. So to find the median, which is the one right smack in the middle, all I have to do is cross the highest, cross the lowest, cross the highest, cross the lowest, and see which one falls right smack in the middle. Ready? Alrighty, I'm going to cross out 24, so I will cross out 59. I'm going to cross out 24, so I will cross out 57. And then keep going the same thing. 37. So let's see, I should go with the lowest, huh? So 30, 54, 30, 54, 31, 52, 32, 51, 33, 51, 34, 50. Okay. 36, 47, 36, 44, 37, 41, and you're going to end up with this. Remember, this one was still there. You're going to end up with 37 and 41. Those are the two that are right smack in the middle. And I need to find out what the median is, so I'm simply going to add them and divide by 2. And my median is 39, which is letter B, right there. Alrighty, so now go ahead and transfer this over and make sure you finish letter A, and then go on to letter B. And then by the end of the week, we will give you another video and a next assignment for the following week, which will illustrate the next topics, okay? See you soon. Hasta la vista, baby.